Hey, what's going on, guys? Robert, welcome here from CoinOpTV. We're going to check out Adventure Time, explore the dungeon because I don't know. We're going to look at some gameplay, and as a special treat, I got Aaron Bleen, one of the producers here, to talk us through some of the game action. So let's get started. Aaron, what do we got going on today?
Hey, Robert. So we're going to take you through our follow-up of last year's game, Adventure Time Explore the Dungeon, because I don't know. Is our first console first console game for Adventure Time. So we're bringing a bigger experience, a bigger game, as well as single player and co-op multiplayer, local co-op multiplayer. So once we jump in, we're actually going to show you a bit of that co-op experience. So we're going to go jump in, load our save file here. So you'll be brought into the character select screen, which you can choose from 8 different Adventure Time characters. So some of them that we'll show off today include Finn, Jake, Marceline, LSP, Ice King, as well as Cinnamon Bun. So those are the characters we'll reveal in this playthrough. But I guess for the sake of the demo, I'm gonna pick my favorite character, which is Ice King. Got my Edith here, who is helping me in my playthrough. She's gonna pick LSP. So we're gonna jump into the game. So to give you guys a little bit of a story, a little background of the story. So basically, Princess Bubblegum has a secret royal dungeon underneath the Candy Kingdom where she has imprisoned the dangerous creatures of Oo. But unfortunately, these creatures are escaping from this prison, and so she doesn't know, or at least the title of the game, Explore the Dungeon, because I don't know. She has no idea why these prisoners are escaping. So she has pretty much summoned Finn, Jake, and as well as the many characters from Adventure Time to help assist and figure out exactly how they're escaping, and come back to Princess Bubblegum after they've explored the dungeon to give her more information as to how they're getting away. So at this point, what we're seeing here is the Candy Kingdom. Princess Bubblegum, of course, is the gatekeeper. She is the one you have to go through in order to go into the dungeon. But there are other characters that you can talk to or interact with. You've got Nepter, who will actually upgrade your imagination, which is the little super meter you see on the left-hand side of the profile, the little bars. So as you're attacking things, that bar, that special attack meter will fill up, and as you fill it up to the max, you can actually perform some cool special attacks, which we'll show later on. Lady Rainicorn will actually upgrade your focus, which is basically a way to which basically accelerates your attack. So if you hold down your attack button, you can do charged attacks, and so she'll actually upgrading that will actually accelerate the charges for your attacks. Muscle Princess will actually upgrade your rowdiness. So she'll basically upgrade your strength, so you'll become stronger. You'll be able to take out the many baddies, the monsters, bosses, and many bosses that you encounter through the dungeons. And then Mr. Cupcake here will upgrade your thumps, which are basically those hearts that you see to the upper left-hand and right-hand corners over there. So that's your health. So he'll upgrade those hearts for you if you have the right amount of treasure that you've collected in the dungeon. So basically, when you're exploring these dungeons, you'll be able to come back to the Candy Kingdom, which serves as our hub in the game. You can cash in that treasure for upgrades, and you can upgrade your character throughout the game. And then we have up here Choose Goose, who has a little stand. So he'll do a little rhyme just like from the show, and you can enter his shop and you can purchase other knickknacks like items like keys, food to replenish your thumps. You'll also be able to purchase sub-weapons, so actually characters can wield sub-weapons in the dungeon, so they'll have their main attacks or their primary weapons, but you can also pick up sub-weapons as well. And then lastly, you have tokens you can purchase, which act as buffs. So characters can equip up to 2 to 3 different types of tokens, and basically have little buffs that include like strength buffs, speed buffs, defense buffs. There's a variety of different tokens you can equip, and you can collect up to 40 of those in the game. So now that we've acquainted you with the Candy Kingdom, now we're going to jump into one of the dungeons. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and jump. Let's go to floor 21, which is one of the ice caverns. And basically, you'll have up to 100 different types of floors you can explore and unlock through the game. So 100 levels with up to 6 different environments that you can explore. And so one of the environments we'll jump into is the ice caverns. So here we have the token screen, as I mentioned earlier. So as you can see, I've collected quite a few tokens in my adventure. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my speed. So I'll put the speed token in there, and maybe I'm going to give him a little more power. So I'm going to use this wishing eye token to boost my power. Once you've done that, I will click end, and my friend here will also do the same. Looks like she'll go with a defense token buff and a sack lunch, which is a food buff. So when she basically picks up food items, she'll not only replenish her health, but it'll actually double her health. So each food item is multiplied by ×2. So now we're in the dungeon. This time, basically, you're just going in and you're pretty much fighting anything that moves, any minions that move. So you're going to see a lot of collectibles. As you can see, she picked up some food for her health. There's a stopwatch here that will actually freeze everything on screen for a temporary amount of time. That gives you an opportunity to take out baddies quickly before the stopwatch times out, and then everything returns back to normal. She just picked up a Cyclops Tears pickup, which basically cures curses. So actually, as you're exploring the dungeon, there are certain enemies that actually can curse you. So you can get poisoned, you can get confused, you can get weakened, and these curses are usually are with you until you pick up the Cyclops Tears, which cures everything. Now she just picked up a familiar, which is a hot dog night. So there will be up to 8 different type of familiars you can pick up. 8 different type of familiars you can actually collect in the game that you unlock, and it's randomized. So you'll see little treasure chests that are strewn about all around the dungeon. So luckily she got a hot dog night, which actually will protect her and assist her in her little exploration of the dungeon.
So we played this at Comic-Con a bit. So we're playing with 2 players now, but you can play with 4 players total?
Yes, so up to 4-player local co-op. So your friends can jump in at any time as well. So if you're in the middle of this dungeon or in the middle of a level here, they can just drop in, wait for you to exit the dungeon, and then all of a sudden they'll just pop right in with their favorite Adventure Time character. You'll notice there's some sub-weapons that have dropped here. So there's some crabs here. There's some eggs over here. I'm going to grab some eggs. So basically I can press the Y button here on the Xbox 360 controller. And actually, instead of using my main attack, which is, of course, Ice King is using, throwing some icicles here, I can throw eggs as well at the enemies in hopes that it does some damage, which it has. Now, this character here, it might explode, so I better be careful. I can use my shield or my defenses by hitting the block button, which is my right trigger button. You can also do some dodge rolls as well by holding down the block button and then going left and right on the analog stick.
So we went with 2 characters that can kind of fly. Can you talk about like the different dynamics of some of the characters who can't fly and maybe some other abilities?
Absolutely. So basically, both Ice King and LSP can float. So there is really the only dangers they need to really be aware of is any hazards that are are like fire pits and lava, anything that they can't would weaken them or hurt them. But for those who are landwalkers like Finn, Jake, Cinnamon Bun, basically they need to be aware of pits and bottomless pits like this, where they can't step over it like we can since we can fly around. So they have to be aware of that. And of course, as if you want to stick with your team, you got to make sure you take alternate paths so they don't fall into these traps. So here's one of the enemies called the Hug Wolf. So if he hugs you, basically you will be cursed with the hugs. And so what happens here is, LSP can't help herself but hug everybody now that she's got the Hug Wolf curse. So if I get close to her, basically I will be frozen for at least a couple seconds as she's holding me, which could impede my attacks as well as impede my progress. So I got to be careful and stay away from her until she cures herself of the hug curse. here's our sort of our charged attacks that each character has. So LSP can basically throw out her lumps in all directions, while Ice King can actually home in with his ice attacks, and it'll home in and actually freeze enemies in place. Here's one of my other sub-weapons, which are called homing bees. So actually those homing bees will home in on any enemy on screen, which let me see if I can, there you go. Let's see if we can find any more enemies here. I'm going to bring up my little sub map over here. LSP, where are you going? We already fought everything there, or no? Okay.
So I want to try and get you charged up there so you can show some of Ice King's special attacks.
And here it comes. So there he summons the Ice Queen, basically a fan fiction of Fiona and Cake that the Ice King is trying to make real. And so he uses his imagination in order to basically perform a summon, which is the Ice Queen, which freezes everybody in place temporarily. So as I noted before, each character has a different type of special attack, and it'll be awesome for anybody who plays this game, and especially Adventure Time fans, to discover these cool special attacks and find out for themselves what kind of summon they have based on the show episodes.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed some Adventure Time, explored the dungeon because I don't know gameplay. Let us know in the comments below which characters you're going to use when you get your hands on this game later this year. It's coming out in 2013. Exciting times for CoinOpTV. We'll see you next time.